Yesterday, I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today, I am wise, so I'm changing myself. Rumi. Seems like one thing we can all agree on is we want to be happy. It's all we can talk about as a society is being happy. Yet, we commercialize it. We're led to believe that happiness comes in the form of a fancy car, an attractive partner, a nice job title or fancy degree, or at the bottom of a Coke can. We look everywhere out there. We try to change everything out there. Acquiring this, being with this person, not being with this person, on and on. And yet, nothing quite seems to change. We tick off these boxes that are supposed to lead us to this oasis called happiness. And we get there, we realize it's a mirage. I've been there. I've been there. Had the stellar grades, the body, the looks, the high paying job. But I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. Even after changing all these things about the world, I couldn't seem to stay happy. And you realize that happiness doesn't come from out there. It's not a place you get to. It's a place you already are. Right here, right now. It's within you. It always has been, always will be. And it starts with changing yourself. It starts by doing the inner work. I'm going to give you another quote here by philosopher Plutarch. And it goes, "What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality." Because ultimately, reality, life, just is. Just is. But it's our inner world, our inner reality, that determines the outer, determines how we feel about the weather. If it's sunny, we feel great. If it's gloomy, we feel like shit. Our day is ruined. If this person likes us, we're all sunshine and rainbows. If they don't, we are out of control. We get into this school or that job, or if we don't, it's like a light switch flicking on and off. And depending on what your preference is, determines how you are, determines if you're happy. Because ultimately, and what all these poets and philosophers and everyone talks about when it comes to changing yourself or the inward, inward. It's because you project out onto the world your inner reality. The inner reality composed of attachments, conditioning, baggage, blockage, whatever you want to call it, that puts this tinted lens, just like over a camera, over life itself, only allowing in, only seeking what you're conditioned to want and not what you don't. And when things line up, great. When they don't, all hell breaks loose. And it's only through doing the inner work, through changing your inner world, through changing yourself, do you change this outer reality? Do you start to see that you've placed a lens, a filter over your lens? Excuse me. And that's how you're experiencing reality. And that's really been what's changed for me the past few years. It's not by changing the outer, but by changing the inner. How I see how I am in the world, that's reflected outwardly. And I did it through writing countless journals. I don't even know how many words, how many hours I put into writing for the inner work. I see writing as a vehicle for it, a way for you to show up for yourself anytime, anywhere, whether you're on the train, whether you are up at 3 a.m. and you can't go back to sleep. You can always do the work. You can always be in conversation with yourself and show up for yourself. That's what it is. You do that, you'll change how you see. You'll change your reality. When you think about it, imagine if everyone, the same, did the inner work. Focus less on changing this and changing this instead. Could you imagine a world where everyone just accepts life as it is, embraces life as it is, without preferences, without their conditioning, their baggage, without this filter they see the world through? If they could just enjoy ice cream for being ice cream and not worrying about if it's vanilla or chocolate. Because ice cream is ice cream. And my gosh, is it sweet and delicious and brings a smile to my face, regardless of the flavor. And that's the beautiful thing, is that by changing yourself and changing your inner world, you in turn affect the outer. And it's not just for you, but it's for others. Because everyone you come into contact with, you cross paths with, they're a beneficiary of how you are in the world, how you show up, how you interact, how you relate with them. Could you imagine how much our world could change? And it starts with you. It starts with doing the inner work, by choosing to be wise today, not changing the world, by changing yourself. And it just so happens to be when you change yourself, you change the world.